stepping stone, you know. I feel like we all kind of have that mentality, that mindset that this was an amazing, you know, a huge stepping stone to jumpstart our careers, our individual careers. So, yeah.
One final question. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you have to. Who are you rooting for? Who do you want to win this?
You know what's funny is that I can't even say, like, I know this. Everybody tries to get this out of me, but I'm telling you, like, I can't tell you, like, who. I've grown relationships with all of them, you know, like, so it's not like I'm rooting for one or the other, only because when you're in close quarters like that, you kind of see everyone for who they are as an artist. And I would never compare, like, James Durbin to Jacob Lusk. Never, ever. And I couldn't even, I feel like it's hard for them to even be in a competition together. Because at that point, it's about, well, what genre do you like? You know, it's like, do you like R&B and gospel, or do you like rock and roll and metal? You know, and so I don't know. I'm praying for all of them, and I hope that everything just ends up well for everyone, which I feel like I know it will. I will say, I'll tell you that, like, Jacob Lusk was like my homie in the competition. He was somebody that I did talk to a lot. We kind of went to each other and was like, okay, did this sound right? Because he's an honest person too. You know, he'll let you know real quick if something sounds weird or if it's off or, you know, how he feels. And so, you know, we built a great friendship in this competition, and so it's always good to see you know, him progress and keep fighting, you know. But everybody, you know, I'm telling you, oh my gosh, it's one of the hardest positions to be in as an artist, is that competition. I'm telling you, it can be stressful. You begin to question yourself sometimes as an artist. But I'm rooting for all of them. I feel like, you know, oh my God, Haley is my girl. That's my hippie friend, you know. I love her to death. And, you know, Scotty and Lauren Elena, they're like my kids there. They're like my children, you know, because there's such a big age gap, you know. But But I was so sad to see Casey go tonight. You know, I just watched it. And
is that who?
I'm gonna miss. Yeah, I'm gonna miss his energy. But you know, it's all a part of the game. You know, everybody except one is gonna go. So but I applaud everybody in the top 13, because I feel like we all stayed true to who we are as artists, and, you know, kind of stuck to our guns. And I don't know. I'm not rooting for any one person. I'm rooting for everybody.
All right.
So,
okay, that's all. I just thought I would ask that. But I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
To you. No, it's all good. It's all good. I do well in the heat, in the in the spotlight. But no, it's that's who I am. I just kind of root for everybody. And you can ask them. Even when I was there, I was very supportive. I would never, you know, look at somebody and go, oh no, not that, or, you know. That's just not who I am. I was kind of like the mother figure in the house, actually. So. So, you know, and I stick to that role. I stick to that. I'm a motivator. I try to know or let people know that they need to just believe in themselves and what they do, you know, and who they are. So, but it was so wonderful to talk to you, Dora.
I know, same here. Finally.
I appreciate you calling in. That's what's up.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks.
All right, dear. Talk to you soon. On Twitter, probably, later tonight. Bye.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bless.
Thank you, Dora, for calling in. If you would like to talk to Naima Adedapo, please call in to 347-934-0126, 347-934-0126, and press the number 1. That will let me know that you have a question. There's a question in the chat room for Naima. Somebody posted a few minutes ago. They want to know if you're going to be doing anything with your brother. Is your brother in music also?
Which one? You know, but my whole family is kind of in music. McKinday is maybe who they're talking about, but Of course, if I can incorporate family, that's big for me. He's a drummer.
Okay.
He's a, he produces music. He does a lot of different things, and so of course, if I can work with McKinday, I would love to do that. Or when I work with McKinday, I'm going to love to do it, I should say. But also, my little brother Ashabi is a drummer, and he's got some little skills as well. He's got his little feistiness behind the drum. And so, maybe I'll get him on a track too. And he actually sings too. So it's it's probably, at some point in my career, I know that I'm definitely going to work with them for sure, because I love promoting family for sure. And that's
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna just speak one time about that, because you played Umbrella, and it took me into the realm of Ras Movement, which is the reggae band that I had formed with my husband prior to being on American Idol. And it's an acronym. It means it's R.A.S movement, and it means Royal Anxious Society. And the verse that you heard inside of Umbrella is something that I actually run with on a track with my husband. It's about staying strong as a couple, as a unity, and just fighting the fight regardless. Some people go through hard times in their relationships, and they want to just call it quits, and they want to break it off. But it's not, for us, it's not about that. It's about staying strong as a family, because in this day and age, it's kind of becoming few and far between where you see those strong families, where you see those people who are willing to ride or die for their family, their offspring, and whatever is to come. And it's kind of shaky nowadays, and it's sad to see that so many people are not fighting for their relationships and fighting for their families, because that's the basis of community. Is strong families, and that's how communities are built, on strong families, and we become strong families, with one another, with different families, with extended families and things like that. But so like Ras Movement was the big movement before I went on to American Idol. And man, I can't tell you the energy that comes off of the stage when I'm performing with my husband. My husband is one of the most phenomenal artists I've ever met in my life. He's been through so many struggles and so many trials and tribulations. It's he needs to write a book, I'm telling you. But I honestly miss performing on stage with him, because what Ras Movement had was just vibes. I'm telling you, we were, just kind of, I don't know, in any venue we played in, people would just come up and go, wow, y'all need to be going around the world, and that's the kind of thing that I tried to bring to the Umbrella song, which I know is Rihanna has that vibe inside of her, you know what I mean? She comes from the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
She comes, you know what I mean? She comes from that vibe. So it was I felt like, hopefully I did her song justice, and I feel like that's what, I don't know, that's where it came from for me. It's like, okay, I feel like this is an appropriate song to stick me inside of it, but, not only is it just me, but it's a whole movement in music right now, I've studied many different artists in reggae, like Sizzla and Capleton, and who's tearing up the radio waves is Queen Ifrica. Royal Empress. Like she's just got those vibes, and she brings it so rough and so tough, but at the same time she can soften up and just let these beautiful sounds come out. And it's just, I love her. That's somebody I would love to work with, in the future, because she's such an inspiring person, And I studied a lot of that, and that's why I ended up putting that inside of Umbrella. So I just wanted to talk about the song a little bit since you have played it, but.
That's cool. That's what I'm gonna do as we do our breaks. I'm gonna play a song to bring us back in from the break. So because I do want everybody to hear the 5 tracks that you sent me for me to play during the show and everything. And I'm loving your vibe. Me and you have never met in person or anything like that, but it's like I know of your parents. I don't know if you know my parents or not, but it's been just really cool. I was just really proud to see you on the stage, being able to represent for the Yorubas, because there's no other Yoruba that's been on American Idol that I know of that was openly. I mean, you called your Yeye and Baba in that first track, and I thought that was so incredible. I wish you could have sent me that track, but we don't have that one. But it is so. It was an awesome song, and I really enjoyed hearing that and being able. I know it went over the judges' heads. They didn't even know what you had said, or because I noticed.
Yeah, that was kind of like an underground not secret message, but it was a shout out because but it was it was like because really in that song it says with mommy and daddy standing by, but I wanted my children to be able to understand that I was talking to them, because they don't call me mommy, they call me Yeye, and they don't call their father daddy, they call him Baba, and I didn't call my mother mommy, I called her Yeye, and so and I called my Baba, so it was, for me, it was about being able to reach out and kind of thank my parents and let my children know that I'll always be there for them, regardless, through thick and thin. They, and I know every mommy in the world feels like that. Every father in the world probably should feel like that, I should say, but probably still feels like that deep inside. They want to protect their child, and they want to keep them from harm and things of that nature. But the other part of that was that I knew that the Yoruba people in the Yoruba community would overstand what I was saying, and for them to know that I do have that connection. I do have it, through the roots of Yoruba. So, it was a very sweet moment for me. And my Baba was in the audience actually that day, so it was a very sweet moment for me. And summertime actually was very much home for me. My mother, like I said, my mother is a jazz vocalist. She's a jazz vocalist, and she used to carry me on her back. And, I don't think I can remember a time in life where I didn't hear summertime, but the way that I heard it was not necessarily the slowed down, the way I heard summertime was always, it was swinging, and it was, it was jazzy. And so I was hoping, actually, when I did that song, that I was hoping that Randy wouldn't compare me to Fantasia, because that's exactly what I was trying to not do. I didn't want to be compared to her because I brought an entirely different vibe to that song. That's not necessarily how I wanted to present the song, and I didn't want to be compared to her because we have two different takes on the song, and Summertime has a different place in my heart probably than it does in Fantasia's heart, so, but, of course, Randy went there anyway, but, I was still very happy with that performance, and I got to rock the dress that I had designed, and kind of, and shout out to Adamaba at Gory Shop in Chicago, because he is that's my number one right there. That's where I go for a lot of my African attire, for, all different kinds of things. He is a West African feel, but he's got this designing skill that I love. He does these different flares. He puts these different flares on these different dresses, and oh my gosh, I love going into his shop, just because I know that every time, no matter what,